So hi guys, I don't know if you can hear me clearly. So deep down I feel so excited, but it's just not showing on my face, but I'm so excited. I was literally so happy in the night. Right now this is the 9th of February. I'm so happy because I'm supposed to start rotating at the hospital, and my first department is radiology, and there I already spoke to a professor, a doctor, who is supposed to guide us. And because we're neurosurgery students, she's already made a schedule for the specific day and the doctor in charge of us, So I saw, like today, we're going to see CT scans. I think scans, not CT scans, just scans. I don't know which type of scans, but scans of hydrocephalus. Then I saw tomorrow there's another type of neurosurgery case, but the scans. Then on Wednesday too.
Twizachard, she's got the spark, lighting up the screen, a vision so stark. With every click comes a brand new trick. She's the queen of the digital flick. Hey, 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 it's Twiz's world. We're just rolling through it, girl. Hey, 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 she's the vibe, setting the tone, she's the drive.
To just the whole week, but for a month. So right now I just made a cup of tea with the honey from home. Yeah, the fresh honey from home. This is the second time I'm bringing fresh honey from home, like a 2.5 liter container. So I'm really happy, Yesterday I had visitors over because I brought stuff for people. So there's somebody who wanted to come and pick up his stuff, and he came with like other people. And then after before they arrived, somebody else wanted me to braid their hair. So my friend came over and she wanted her hair braided. So I plaited her cornrows, and then I'm so sorry my energy is down right now. Yeah. And then she brought me coffee. Yeah. So I think that's why I fell to sleep, because I don't take coffee. I take tea instead. I prefer tea to coffee. So yeah. And then I hosted them, and we all ate together. And they left later on in the night. And then instead of me sleeping, I started doing my assignment, because there's a paper that my doctor is supposed to, the professor that I'm under, is supposed to publish. And he gave me that assignment. I did it within a week. I finished. And then that was before I left China. Then I went home. So I finished at home within a week. Then I sent it to him. Then he gave me some contact. And then only for me to be told half were English stuff, then half were like international languages like Spanish, Filipino, and all those the other languages on trigeminal neuralgia. So then they told me, you have to replace the foreign language with English, so you have to look for more videos on trigeminal neuralgia. So I would have done it at home because TikTok was working perfectly at home, but the network, and I was so busy. I was so busy. So I tried doing it at the hospital. That's the time I finished. But again, they said, no, you have to redo it. So I was like, you know what? Because I'm only here for 2 weeks and only a week was left. I told them, okay, let me just come back to China. And then I came back on Monday. This is the 9th of February. So the whole week I've just been resting. I've been so jet lagged because despite me traveling home, I never rested. I was always at the hospital. I was always somewhere. I'm just doing all sorts of things. And I have to go visit relatives, both from my mom's side and my dad's side. So within 2 weeks, imagine I did all that. I feel like I stayed there for over a month because I did so many things, and I took so many pictures too, just at the hospital and also with my relatives on both sides. So I never even rested. I just arrived. I was already going to a hospital. And then now, in my last days, I think I was always moving about, buying groceries and going to the banks and whatnot and this and that. So I completely never rested. Then I traveled, I came back, and now that's when my body felt the tiredness. That's when my body was exhausted. So it's like this whole week I've just been sleeping and waking up in the night, sleeping and waking up in the night. So my professor texted me on Friday because I told him on Monday I'm back, and then on Friday he texted me saying, "Jelly, where have you been? Which department are you in? Because I haven't seen you." I said, "No, I will be in radiology this whole month. It's just that I'm resting, but I'll be done with the assignment and I'll be coming to the hospital." And he said, "Okay." So I started doing the assignment, and thank God I finished today at 4 a.m. That's why I look tired. I finished at 4 a.m. Sorry. I finished at 4 a.m. and then I tried to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. I don't know if there are any girls watching. For me, my mind just doesn't shut off completely. You know how like when guys are sleeping, they just lay their head and they black out. But when girls sleep, I don't know about other people, but for me, I have to start thinking through my day, how I woke up, what I did, my whole day, whatever I did, I start passing through it. So by the time, I don't even know when I sleep because I just find myself waking up the following day. But I know I always think about so many things, and passing through so many things. So I tried to sleep, but then my mind kept on thinking and thinking and thinking, and I couldn't sleep. And it's like my mind was thinking for 1 hour. So then when I just woke up and decided to iron my lab coat. So I just ironed my lab coat, and then I've packed everything in my bag. Then I want to drink some tea, and then I go shower. But I'm going to start my rotations today, and I'll be in radiology. Fun fact, I almost studied radiology. If it wasn't neurosurgery, I was gonna study either cardiology or radiology. I feel like those two got my attention. But then I feel like neurosurgery has always been my desire, something I've always wanted. I feel like that's the first department I ever knew growing up. So there's always been my interest. I've always been intrigued by the brain, and the older I grow, the more I learn more stuff. And now that I'm doing my master's, I have to know. I already know so much, but I feel like I still need to know and perfect. I don't know if that makes sense. I know the surgeries, I know everything, the videos and whatnot, but the one thing I want to perfect is my theory. In terms of, if I study, I want to know if I'm given exam questions or questions on paper, I must know how to answer them. I mean, I know, but medically. You know how like we learned in high school biology, and like for my biology teacher, she always used to say, each time you're answering a question and they write like 15 marks, you should know what those 15 marks are. You don't just like answer blah 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 blah, and just because of the quantity you think you've scored a lot. It's about the quality. So each point, like for example, the one I remember the most is like photosynthesis and also the heart circulation. If you can explain the systolis, diastolis, if you explain like all the blood vessels, the ventricles, the blood flow, the lungs, the atrium, the septum, if you can explain all of that in detail, at this point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, you already know that you've passed this. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality, So I just want to perfect my quality, if that makes sense, so that if there's a question, I know how to answer it, because I feel like if you were to give me a human being and I'm taught to do the surgery, I can do it on my own, because I've attended many neurosurgery cases. But if you bring the questions to me, I feel like I still need to put myself together and know how to answer, not just like talking too much and writing too much, So yeah, I'm so tired, but I'm so excited. My doctor said that I should be there by 8:30, but I woke up at 6:30. I've turned on the geyser for like an hour because my water takes long. And then I'm going to shower at 7:30. I don't need much time to shower. Then I'll start off probably at 8 or 8:05 because my hospital is not that far. It's just that the elevators at the hospital take so long because there are so many people and so many floors. But I know radiology is not like up the building. It's, I think, down. I can't even remember anymore, but I'll make it. So yeah. Alright then. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please don't mind my hair. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It will really help my channel grow. And bye-bye. I'm so tired. And I've just arrived at the hospital. My eyes are so sleepy. And I forgot about how cold it is in China. Look, I was literally cruising in the cold. But I hope I have a good day because I just texted the doctor. She's told me come to the nurse station and then ask them to open the door for you. So bye-bye. I'm here and guess what? The doctor is in a meeting. She's in a meeting, so meaning I am 10 minutes early, if not 14 minutes early. Thank God it's on the first floor. I didn't have to take an elevator. So I arrived and the nurse, I just said, well, I should see. And then she said, okay. We'll bang the camera. And then some patients open. Wait, do I need to translate? Let me help you open the door. And then some patients. See? I don't know if you know this fruit. I don't know if it's from a fig tree or what. But hawthorn, not hawthorn, hawthorn fruit. So let me eat this for sugar. I love these fruits. Many people after me don't actually like these fruits, but I like them. They're soury. I love soury stuff, like lemons. They're really nice, So yeah, so I texted her. I was like, "Oh, she was dollar," and she's like, "Oh, was I kai horna? You kai bang horna?" I said, "Okay." That's how. Just when I was changing that, because this The radiology place is so different from my former school. Like, this place is huge. So then I started like removing my jacket and changing into my lab coat. Then there are like some doctors there. So then I told the doctor, I just greeted the doctor. I was like, Lao Shi Hao. She's like, is this your seat? Should I stand up? And I was like, no, it's not my seat. I was just saying, Lao Shi Hao, how are you? And she was like, I'm fine. Then I asked her, where can I put my jacket and my bag? And she's like, Nichu Gang issue. It means go in the changing room. So now I'm in the changing room. So yeah, I'm waiting. I'm so happy. Like, I'm so energized that I'm late. I'm so energized that I'm early. Like, I'm on time. This is what happened at home. I arrived before Grandpa. Like, let me tell you a story. Grandpa said I should meet him at BHS hospital. Then I told him I live very far. I don't know if I recorded this, but like, I told him I live very far, because the house my mom moved to is like really, really far. So then we were like late, and there was traffic and what. But long story short, we found ourselves, mom dropped me off near like BHS hospital. I don't know the Zambian roads, but it was like, she told me just cross the main road, then just walk down that road, you'll find Grandpa's hospital. I was like, okay. So then I started walking with like a suitcase, my small white suitcase, because I was going there for like the whole period. So then I texted Grandpa before like arriving. I was like, Grandpa, we are running late, there's traffic. Then he was like, yeah, it's quite a lot. That's all he responded. I was like, oh my god. I like, people that have spent time with me know I hate being late. Or if you plan to meet at this time, let's meet at that specific time. Or if like I'm arriving at a place and we're supposed to meet and you're not there, it just bothers me a lot, because I don't know how I can explain it, but I feel so bothered when I'm like so late. I like to be on time or ahead of time, but not on the actual time or after the time, you know. Those who've like spent time with me know that. And I was dragging my suitcase and I was walking in the street till I met this guard for a certain place. I was like, do you know where BHS hospital is? He was like, no. I was like, do you know where Millennia? I just remember the word Millennia or something. Then he was like, yes, the next place. And then I went and I started dragging. Then I never saw his car back there. I was so happy. I was like, yes, Grandpa's it arrived. Then I saw my aunt. Because she's a nurse there. Yeah, go. Because I didn't see her in 2023 when I came. Because she was at, I think, at school at that time, at nursing school. Or something like that, so I didn't see her. So I was so happy to see her. And I was like, has Grandpa arrived? She was like, no. I was like, yes. Now I have something to tell him. Because when he came, it says nobody filmed this, you guys. It was such a happy moment. Because I scribed in. It was craniotomy. And they're creating burr holes. They made burr holes in the brain. No, we're preparing, I think. And then Grandpa walked in because I like wore scrubs. This is like a story time before the doctor comes, okay? So bear with me. So Grandpa came and I just heard him by the door. He was like, hi everybody. He just know Grandpa. He was like, hi everybody. And everybody responded to him because I had the mask. So he didn't recognize me. So then, sorry, it's not good to talk with food in the mouth. But I need the sugar, so please understand. So I was like, hi everybody, because I had the mask he didn't like recognize. And then he left. Then I think he was like looking for me. Then he came back. Then he walked in. I wish somebody recorded this moment, because to me,
I always remember like special moments with people, you know. And then he came back, and then he stood right behind me because we're looking at the monitor, the scan of like the patient. So then he was like, hello, hello. And then I turned. Then he looked in, like my face was like this. Then he looked into my eyes because I had the cap. He looked into my eyes. Then I looked at him. To me, I was like, I thought he knew it was me. Then he looked. Then he was like, is this Twiza? Dr. Twiza? I was like, yes. He was like, my angel. And then we were like this, right? And then everybody was like around. Then he was like, my angel. And then cause like, when you like smile, like you see, like when I'm serious and when I smile. So I just remember like being so happy under my mask. Then he came like right here, and then he was like this with the mask. He was like on my nose, and I was like, Grandpa, hi. And then he hugged me so tightly because I'm like short, and he's like way taller than me. He hugged me so tightly. He was like, my angel, I missed you so much. I don't remember what he said. I just remember my angel part because that's how the grandpa calls me. Now he calls me Dr. Twiza. He's like the neurosurgeon, Dr. Twiza. So I wish somebody recorded this part because I would have posted it. It says that nobody like, but the craziest part, everyone was in the room and they all saw that. All the doctors, the nurses, everybody was in the room, saw that. It's actually memorable.
I'm sorry I didn't finish talking. My doctor came. Yeah, I don't even know why I ended the story. In summary, just know that it was such a happy moment for me, and I wish like somebody had filmed it because I would have posted it, But he was so happy to see me, and I was so happy to see him too. And then right now they've assigned the doctor with us, and then right now she's going to take something. That's how I'm talking to you guys, because I'm not supposed to be on my phone. But the patient that came, she was telling us that the hippocampus is so small. So how do you know that it's so small when the calculus space is so big? You understand, like the calculus, the space. So then she showed us. I wish I could like show you these things, but the patient has gone. So yeah. And then she was asking me questions. She was asking me questions. So then she was saying, what happens? What does this mean? So because the lady is old, she's about, I think, 86 years old. Because she's 86 years old, meaning she has hippocampal atrophy, meaning atrophy to become small, to shrink. So because of that, which diagnosis can we give her? Highly likely Alzheimer's disease because she's old. But what differential diagnosis do we have? We have Parkinson's disease, we have dementia, we have PTSD, we have trauma to the head. But the point is, she's old. So because she's old, highly likely she has Alzheimer's disease or dementia, but because of her age, it's highly likely Alzheimer's disease, just from looking at the radiology scans. So yeah. Alright, bye-bye. Hello, so I'm from visiting my friend. Ever since I came, I haven't seen her. And the school was giving out gifts for the Chinese New Year, because next week we will be celebrating the Chinese New Year. Ni hao. Hello. Yeah, we'll be celebrating the Chinese New Year. And see, they've actually put this red stuff. I don't know if you can see. Yeah. So I told her to get my gift for me. Then this is, I don't know if you can see, this is the gifts from the school. Yeah. So I was checking inside. I thought there there was gonna be fruits inside, because usually in China, if there's like the Chinese event, like such an event, they usually put fruits inside. So I was actually so worried that maybe the fruits have gone bad, and I was taking a break, like bed rest, for like a week. So I thought I'll see you next week, you know. But thankfully, inside there are snacks. There are like a lot of assorted Chinese snacks. So yeah, so I just came back home, and tomorrow I need to go to the hospital. I'm still in the radiology department. Yeah, bye bye.